Here, your Stamping Up demonstrator from the Scenic Rim in Queensland, and I'm here today with my free weekly online class. So how my weekly online class works for anyone that places a $100 order or more using my host code in the designated time, which is today the 27th right through to the 30th of September, are the order dates, you will earn a kit to make 2 of each of these cards that I actually create for you today. So you will get the cardstock layers and cut to size, and the designer series paper as well, and the envelopes ready to make 2 of each of these cards. So I'm using a really awesome stamp set this afternoon called Wishes All Around. Now, I actually only just ordered this stamp set, and I absolutely have had such a fun time using this stamp set with some really fun, beautiful, bright designer series paper. So I'm quite excited to share with you the cards that I've created this afternoon because they are just fun and bright and cheerful. So hello, we've got Margaret, Marion, Julie. How are you all? So thank you for joining. So please, when you join, jump on, say hello, let me know where you're watching from. Hello, Marilyn. So welcome. I am so glad that you are here and you're spending some time with me this afternoon to craft. I know it's been a few days. I had to have a little bit of a rest from my 12 days of Christmas treat holders because I've had a mammoth effort with starting with Christmas in July. Then we had 12 days of Christmas. Then we had 12 days of treat holders, and I've played a little bit of catch up this week. I've also had my daughter here that hasn't been well, so I've been looking after her as well. So hello, we've got more people joining. Hey Suzanne and Lynn, hello and welcome. So as I said, this is my free online class. So for anyone that orders $100 or more during September the 27th, 2023, right through to September the 30th. So you've only got 3 days this time for placing your qualifying order. You will get a card kit to make 2 of each of these cards that I'm going to create with you today. Hello, Kim. Welcome. Chris, welcome. How's my studio going? Nothing much has happened. I've got the final completion for the roof, so that's all good. Now just waiting on my builder to arrive and do some more, but I've got quite a few classes on in October, so I'm not sure what will actually be happening. Hello, Kim from Jim Boomba. Welcome. You are so close to me. I was going through Jim Boomba yesterday afternoon, so welcome. So please sit back and enjoy an awesome afternoon of crafting with my free class. So let's get started. So this is the stamp set that I'll be using. It's called Wishes All Around, and it's actually like a wreath set. So the dies are really pretty. So we've got dies to actually do this Christmas tree wreath, but we've also got dies here to do snowflakes and also a nice foliage wreath as well. So what I decided to do was pair this up with some gorgeous designer series paper, which is so bright. Now this paper is called the Merry Bold and Bright Designer Series paper, and it is absolutely bold and bright. So as you can see, now some of it's Christmas themed, but you could use this all year round because it's got such beautiful, bright, bold colors. So it's exactly what it says, bright and merry, which I think is exactly what it is. So I'm using some of this paper today to create 3 gorgeous cards. So I'm going to bring in the 3 gorgeous cards that I'm going to create first and show you what we're going to do, and then we will get started. So this is card number 1. So we're using some strips of designer series paper to make a cute little Christmas tree, which is really easy, and a lovely embossed border in the background, just to create a little bit of difference. So that's a fun, quirky way of using up your scraps, which will be great. Then we're going on to this one here where we're doing the wreath with the cute little Christmas trees. And then we're moving on to the star of the show, my final one, which is this one here. So I'm incorporating some of the designer series paper. I'm also incorporating some vellum with some embossed layers as well. So you are absolutely going to love these cards. Okay. So let's get started with this one here. So this one here is the easiest and the quickest one out of all of them. So we're using our thick basic white layer for each and every one of these cards. So they're all on a white card base layer. My card base layers are always the same. Everyone asks me, you drove past Beaudesert the day before yesterday. Well, you should have dropped in. So my card bases and layers are always the same. Everyone asks me what the measurements are. I always use the same. Hi, Daryl, how are you going? I always use the same. So it's 5 3/4 inches that way by 8 inches that way. Folded in half gives me a card front size of 4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. And then, of course, my next layer that I step down from that is always 3 3/4 inches by 5.5 inches. So the 3 3/4 inches, I'm going to use Melon Mambo, which is that layer there. So I've cut it down 1/4 inch smaller than the card front size. Okay, so card bases are always 5 3/4 inches by 8 inches. First layer is always 3 3/4 by 5.5. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take our distressed tile, I think it's called distressed tile 3D embossing folder, and I'm going to emboss that pink layer. So I'll bring in the cut and emboss. I have totally cleaned up my craft room today, so it is spotless. If you could see my benches at the moment, they are spotless. It is wonderful to be crafting in such a clean space. All right. Sometimes we need to clean out the craft room and have a clean space to get a clear mind to be able to design. I designed these 3 cards this morning and my craft room was a mess. So I decided that I would clean it up and come on. Theo's decided that he wants to come in and craft with us. So he was just banging at my craft room door. So you can hop up on your chair, buddy, not on mine. There you go. Here. Hop up on that chair. So Theo has decided to grace us with his presence this afternoon. He's now smooching around my legs. All right, so I've embossed that layer, and I'll pop that back over there. I know you all ask, where's Theo? He's finally decided to grace us with his presence. I don't know whether we'll be able to see. Let's see if we can put the camera up, whether you can see him. There he is. Say hello. He's decided that he wants to come and craft this afternoon with us. He's been missing in action lately. Clean space doesn't last long at my house. Exactly, Lynn. I can understand. And I said probably after this live video, mine won't be too clean either. But anyway, so I've got my embossed layer. Isn't that just stunning? So this embossed layer is, as they say, distressed. So some parts aren't embossed and some parts are. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be. That's how the embossing layer comes out. Now, there it is here. So I've got a piece of our parakeet party, and this one is cut at 3 inches by 4 inches. I'm nearly sure it's 3 inches by 4 inches. Let me double check on that measurement to make sure, so I'm not telling you any fibs. 3 inches by 4 inches. Yes, it is. Okay, so we've got a 3 inch by 4 inch piece of designer series paper here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the sentiment down the bottom so it allows me, it will allow me to know exactly where I can go with my Christmas tree. And all I've got here, honestly, is scraps of designer series paper. Scraps that I've cut off out of edging bits, layers. So it's a great way of actually using up your scraps. So I'm going to bring in some Melon Mambo ink and I'm going to stamp the Christmas greetings stamp out of the stamp set. Good afternoon, Sue. Now, this is just going to sit. I think I actually did my layer 3 1/4 inches, the other layer, but it just fits, so it's okay. It's worked out totally okay. So we've stamped that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our glue And we're just going to, with the smallest pieces, ranging from the smallest pieces to the longest pieces. And we may trim some of these as we go, but we are physically just using offcuts of designer series paper. So I'm going to start with this cute little piece, and my glue has spurt out more than what I needed. Let me see. It doesn't matter. I'll just put it down and hopefully it won't ooze out too much. So we've got one there that's going to start off our tree. Then, of course, we've got another little bit that I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to. And we are just going to offset these a little bit like that. Actually, you know what? I've got a piece here that's a little bit smaller than that. So I'm going to take that one off and put the other piece down first. Got this piece here. So let's try that one. So all it is just a case of arranging the sizes of your designer series paper to go with what you've got. That one there. So we're just randomly going to create this cute Christmas tree with these layers. There. Okay, so we're going to go into some bit bigger pieces now. So I've got a piece of just plain melon mambo, which is cute. So we're going to add that. Like that. Okay, so now I've got some bigger pieces again. So I'm going to start trimming these pieces down. So I have this piece here. I think I can go about that, or will that one work? Ooh, I might do that one. And then I might do that one. Yeah, that looks good. So as you can see, just using scraps, which is really, really great. Hi, Liz. How you going? Welcome from the UK. Welcome. Lovely to see you on my video. Okay. I miss the UK. I had a lovely time when we were over there for the incentive trip. It was fantastic. I see things on the TV now and I say to my daughter, isn't it amazing to think that we were there, that we've traveled to all of those places? Okay, so I'm going to go with another piece of this one's our melon mambo. Okay, so where is Ravenshoe, Narelle? Tell me where that is. Give me a little bit more information. Where is Ravenshoe? And thank you. I'm glad you love watching my videos. So we've got another one there. And then, of course, I think this one could probably go there. And then we might finish off with that green one. So I'm going to trim that one off a little bit. So that one can go there, which is looking quite cute. Hello, Marilyn from California. Hello, welcome. We've got people from all over the place. Daryl said he bought some of the nail polish holders to hold the glue. They are fantastic, aren't they, Daryl? It saves you having to try and get that glue to come out. Sometimes, though, it comes out too much. Okay, so I'm just going to trim that a little bit because we don't need that full length. And that might just about finish our tree off, which I think it does. There. So how cute is that, just using scraps? And I've still got scraps left over to probably do another one as well. So it's a really, really quick, easy way of creating a super cute, quick card. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to take our card base. We're going to layer on our embossed layer. Hello, Mary. Jumping in to say hi. It's after midnight in California. You should be in bed asleep. But that's okay. I'm happy that you're choosing to come and watch me for a bit. All right. So I'm just going to add that onto my card base. So we have that. I'm then going to add some dimensionals onto the back of that layer. So the designer series paper, it goes with another bundle. I didn't buy the bundle, but I did buy the paper because I thought the paper was quite cute. So very bright and colourful. Far North Queensland, 2 hours west of Cairns. Well, my brother's actually in Cairns at the moment. He's up there with his grandchildren. They've been going around Australia and they're on their way home. They come from Redland Bay in Queensland and they will be home at the end of October. It's been over 12 months since I have seen my brother and sister-in-law, so it will be really, really nice when they come home. I can't wait to see them. It's been way too long. All right, so now I'm going to finish that off with a cute little bow. Now, this is the ribbon that goes with the Zoo Crew suite. So it's a ribbon combo that has the, trying to think of what color it is, petal pink, I think it is, and the parakeet party. So I'm just going to pop a cute little bow up the top. And then, of course, we all know I need embellishments because we all know we love bling. So I'm just going to add some seal floss at the top there for my bow to pop into. So instead of a star, I decided to put a bow up the top of the Christmas card, Christmas tree, which I thought was super cute. So then I'm actually going to use some of these gorgeous, do I have some here opened? Do I or do I not? I don't think I do. No. Okay, so I'm going to use the Tinsel Gems 4-pack. And we're going to pop a couple of, bring on the bling, says Kay, of course. I'm going to pop a couple of those around just to add a little bit of bling to our card. So I think because we used pink, although, we could use those ones there. No, I want to use the pink. So I'm going to use the pink and pop it on here and here and, of course, here. And maybe a little one just up there and maybe a little one just down there. So how cute and easy is that just with your scraps of designer series paper? I know I had to add a bow, Sue. I know. I can't do a card without a bow. So I've got no bling on this one. So you can see the bling definitely brings it up. Let's pop a little bit of bling on my sample. I didn't get around to popping the bling on the sample. I drove all the way to Robina today to hopefully get my iPhone looked at because it's not holding its charge. And it turned out that they had no appointments, so it was a waste of a trip. So I didn't end up getting my iPhone looked at. So I still have an iPhone that won't hold its charge. But anyway, that's life. Okay, so that's card number 1. So remember, this is my free online class. So for anyone that places a $100 order or more, you will get a card kit to make 2 of each of these cards. So I'll show you the cards in the end, what we end up doing, and what you will get a kit to make. So the second card I'm going to do, I'm using the gorgeous Parakeet Party, using the Christmas tree designer series paper. You will see up in that top corner up there, you'll see a QR code. That QR code is actually a direct link to my shopping store with the host code added to it already. So if you want to place your qualifying order when I'm finished doing this video, you can click on that QR code with your camera, with your iPhone or your camera on your mobile phone, and it will take you straight through to my online store. If you want to just go on a laptop, then the link is in the show more box down below on YouTube, and it's also in the description of this video with the host code connected. So we've got our card base once again cut at 5 3/4 by 8 inches. and I'm going to fold that in half and burnish with my bone folder. So the parakeet party layer is cut at 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. The designer series paper layer is cut at 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. So I've done it 1/8 of an inch smaller than my parakeet party layer. Now I have a piece of vellum cardstock here. Now our vellum cardstock is fairly thick, so it's good sturdy vellum, and I'm actually going to use the Spots embossing folder. Now this is an embossing folder out of our basics embossing folders, and they're a set of 3 embossing folders, which they are a fantastic addition to your craft studio. So we have this one, we have another one that has sort of more texture look to it, and I'm trying to think what the third one is, a real fine crisscross. So these are absolutely a must in your craft room. So I'm just going to line that vellum up in there, and I'm going to run that through my cut and emboss machine. So I'll just move those out of the way and bring the cut and emboss machine back in. All right, so we're using our base plate. So our number 1 plate, we're using the embossing folder with the vellum inside it with our fold going through our embossing machine first. And then we're using our number 4 plate just to emboss. Now, because they are 3D, you only need that base plate and you need your number 4 plate on top. Now, you always should put a plate on top of your embossing folders. If you don't put that plate on top of your embossing folders, has anyone ever had embossing folders go like a duck's bill, that they want to curl out like that and you don't know why that's happened? So it's because you're not putting a plate on top of your embossing folder. You really should always put a plate on top. Now, can you see how awesome that is on vellum? And then the reverse side. So we've got the emboss side and then the deboss side. So you can use whichever side you like. I'm using the embossed side for this one. So that is actually going to get layered onto there. Now I'm actually going to use some Seal Plus in a few areas on that and glue it on, for the simple fact that you're not going to see where the Seal Plus is because our wreath is going to cover it. So I'm just going to add 4 little bits of Seal Plus around. You love embossing on vellum, Margaret? I know, it's super cute, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to add that right into the middle of our card like that. And even with that, you can't actually see where that glue is. So don't panic too much about having glue showing through, because our vellum is quite thick, so it doesn't show up too bad. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to stamp that gorgeous wreath, and I'm going to stamp that in our shaded spruce. So it's a wreath of Christmas trees, which is super cute, and then it's got a die that matches it. So we're going to ink that up. I'm going to bring in my Pierce mat so that we have a good surface to stamp on. I'm going to ink that up with my shaded spruce. I'm then going to stamp that down onto that white cardstock. Okay, so just with our shaded spruce, and look at that gorgeous wreath that we've just stamped. How fantastic is that? Now you wait until you see how the die fits over this. It's so easy, but comes out looking so fantastic. So let's grab the die. So the matching die is this funny one. Now I want to show you something with this die. When we cut this out, I'm also going to stamp my sentiment while we're going. We may as well do that as well. So I'm going to stamp the sentiment in our parakeet party. And the sentiment that I'm going to stamp is make it merry. So I know it sounds a little bit crazy, make it merry as a sentiment, but it was the only one that would fit in a circle, and I wanted to put a sentiment in the middle of the circle. So that's why I decided to do it. I could have probably just put a Christmas tree in there or a snowflake in there, but we don't really have snow around Christmas time here. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm just going to bring in the cut and emboss again, and we will cut that out. So this time, because we are cutting, we are going to use our number 1 plate. we're going to use our number 2 plate, which is our thin die adapter. We're going to use a cutting pad. We're then going to put our cardstock on. Now look how well this lines up. So you've just got to sit it on there, move it around a little bit until you get all of your Christmas trees lined up. And you can see there, that's all lined up really well. We're going to pop our cutting pad on top, and hopefully that didn't move too much. I think it did. Hang on, and I'll move it again. We could probably put a sticky note on it if we had a sticky note here with me, but I don't have a sticky note with me. And now I've got Theo smooching my legs again. I think maybe he's hungry and wants to get fed. Okay, so we're going to pop that down carefully there. There we go. You always forget to use vellum, Merlene? Yeah. So we're going to run that through and wait until you see how cute this is. But I want to show you something. So we've got, look at that. Isn't that just so super cute? But I want to show you this. Don't you think this looks like a sun? That's the piece that comes out of the middle. So save those pieces. I think you could blend with a blending brush and use it in a sunset. So I think it just reminded me of the sun. So so keep those pieces and use them on a different project, maybe with a sunset or a nice a beautiful, I don't know, blended horizon. All right, so we're just going to pop that back there. Okay, so now with our little Make It Merry, I'm going to use a combination of punches here. I'm going to use my 1.5 inch punch, and that's actually going to punch out that Make It Merry really, really easily. And then I'm going to use my 1 3/4 inch punch, and I'm going to punch out a 1 3/4 inch circle for that to layer up on. Okay, so we have that. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals onto the back of those. So let's pop some dimensionals on. So this one's actually going to pop up in the center of the circle here. And this one's then going to pop up onto that shaded spruce circle as well. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of that ribbon around that layer. So I'm just going to add some Seal Plus in the middle of my card there for this ribbon to be able to adhere into. We're going to wrap some of that Zany Zoo ribbon around. Oh, okay, Suzanne. So you said that happened to your iPhone and they did a reset on it and now it's fine. Yeah, I don't know why. It doesn't even hold a charge half a day and it's starting to go, it's like below half. And it never used to be like that. So I don't know what is going on. Okay, so I'm going to add some dimensionals onto that layer and pop it onto the card base. So I absolutely love doing these free classes every week because all you need to do is when you get your kit is to come back to this video and you can remake up all of your cards. So all you need is the stamp and die set that I use and some embellishments of your own. So now with this one, I'm actually going to add some little mini dimensionals. Hopefully I've got enough left here on my sheet. I'm just going to add a mini dimensional on every second Christmas tree. That's actually how I did it on my sample. Just every second tree. It's enough to keep it held up firmly and keep it popped up on our front of our card. And one more. Okay. And we'll take all those off. So I've had a major clean out of my craft room today, and my benches are spotless. I wish I could turn the camera around and just show you what my bench tops look like, because it's so nice to be able to see no mess everywhere for a change. Okay, so I'm going to pop that in the middle, just like that. Then, of course, we're going to pop our shaded spruce circle up in the middle. So we're just going to pop that in the middle like that. Now, I could, if I wanted to, if I wanted to, get my trees to come out like that. But then I think once that circle goes in, well, we could. Let's do that. Let's pull them out. I should have put the shaded spruce circle down first and then put my trees, but let's pull them out, because I thought about this after I did my sample and I was like, you can't even see the top of the trees now that I put the circle in there, but I didn't have a punch that was just that little bit smaller. Had my ribbon then. So let's pull those tree tops out. Look at that. Cute as. And then we'll pop our sentiment up in the middle. He was just here, Theo. He was just here smooching my legs and now he's gone again. Okay, so make it merry. Okay. And then, of course, we will embellish. And I think I'm going to embellish with these cute little green ones. So let's pop some green ones around. These tinsel gems are super cute. Okay. And then, of course, a bow. Watch out, Sue. Here comes the bow. Yeah, so Suzanne, when I actually got to Robina, to the Apple store, they had no appointments until tomorrow. So we actually went there just to get my phone fixed and thought we would do a bit of shopping as well. So it ended up, I mean, it's a 55-minute drive here from my place to Robina. So I was a little bit peeved that the reason we were going there that we couldn't do it. I suppose I probably should have rang them first, but we've always been able to just, over that way. We've always been able to just make an appointment and come back in, say half an hour. And yeah, they were like, no appointments until tomorrow. So I guess I'm just going to have to, when I'm ready to do it, just have to ring up and book and make it a day trip to go and get it sorted. But it's a little bit annoying. You sort of go somewhere and you're worrying about whether your phone's going to stay charged or not. All right, so there we have card number 2. Now I'm just going to stamp a little insert for that card. I didn't stamp one for the other card. I really should do that. I'm a bit slack that I didn't do that. So let's bring that back in. Okay, so the stamp set we have, I actually don't mind this one here. What's this one say? Sending wishes for a wonderful and joyous season. So I might do that one on the cute little Christmas tree one. So let's do that. And I'll do it with my Melon Mambo. So there. And then, of course, there is some cute little trees in this set. Seeing as we did it as a tree, let me grab that one so I've got that one on there. Seeing as we did it with the Christmas tree, we will do that and our parakeet party. So let's just pop a cute little tree there and another little tree there. And we've got a bit of a halo there, but never mind. We will pop that to the inside of the card. Yeah, I could do a reset myself. Yeah, okay, I might try that. Well, I've got my daughter here that's into technology. What do they say when you can't do something? Ask a teenager. Well, she's not a teenager anymore. She's a 21-year-old, but there we go. So that's for that one. This one here, I think I'm going to do the other sentiment that says, may the love of friends and family surround you this Christmas. And I might do that one in shaded spruce. Hopefully that's going to be straight, not too bad. And we'll do a couple of little trees again. So let's do some stamped off ones. Wow, I need to trim that stamp because it's making halos very, very easily, which is not good when it comes to stamping. And sorry, I was down off the page then. All right, so let's pop that one to the inside of that one. And then I'm going to start my third and final card. So there's two of the cards. So you can see two of the gorgeous cards that you would do in this class. So if you come in late, if you place an order of $100 or more, you will get a kit to make all 6 of these cards for free if you place an order of $100 or more through my online store using the QR code that's on the screen there if you want to, or by just using the link in the show more box down below or in the description of this video on Facebook. So let's do this gorgeous third and final card. So once again, we have the card base, which is 5 3/4 by 8 inches, folded in half, gives us a 4 inch by a 4 inch by 5 3/4 inch card front size. So then I have a Melon Mambo 3 3/4 inch by 5 1/2 inches. Then I have a designer series paper layer that is cut at 3 5/8 by 5 3/8, and I'm just going to pop that onto there. Okay, like so. And we have that. Then we have a vellum layer. So our vellum layer is 3 1/2 inches by 4 inches, I think. I'm going to double check that. 3 1/2 inches by 4 inches. I was correct. 3 1/2 inches by 4 inches. And I'm going to use this snowflake one. So I think it's called Snowflake Sky. I think that's what it's called. But I'm going to use the bottom part, and then I'm going to turn it upside down. So you can see here in this embossing folder, it's got more embossed bits down the bottom, and then it fades up to less at the top. I want the more one down the bottom. So I'm going to pop my layer in there like that. I'm going to grab my cut and emboss machine. So once again, with our number 1 plate, our embossing folder with the fold going through that embossing machine first, and then my number 4 plate on top, and we're going to wind that through. Now, don't ever go back the other way when it comes to embossing, because you have a tendency of being able to possibly break and crack that fold. So look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? Embossing on vellum is so much fun. It just comes out and shows that embossed layer so much more. Hey Sam, how you going? Hi Barry, how you going? Oh, sorry, Beryl, sorry. My eyesight's fading there. Welcome, Beryl. How are you? All right. So we have, hello, Rebecca from London. Hello. All the London people are up and out of bed. Okay, so I'm going to add some Seal Plus on the back of that vellum layer. So once again, I can add it in those 4 places because our wreath is going to cover that up. So it doesn't matter. We won't be seeing where that glue is. I'm going to pop it with the most embossed part at the top and lay that down there like that. Okay, Now, I have some of our gorgeous, gorgeous sheer ribbon. Who loves this ribbon? Like, honestly, it is my favorite, I think, out of all of the catalogue, out of all the embellishments. I'm positive that this sheer ribbon is definitely my favorite. So I'm just going to pop that into my Seal Plus and wrap it around. And that layer is good to go. So the next thing what we're going to do is we're going to create our wreath for the front. So we've got that there ready to go, and we'll pop that onto our card base. And now we're going to use some Melon Mumbo and some basic white, and we're actually going to cut that wreath out of both the Melon Mumbo and the basic white. So we've got this one here is the one I'm going to use. Okay, I'm going to bring in the cut and emboss again. Okay, so for this one, because we're cutting, we're using the number 1 plate, we're using the number 2 plate, we're popping a cutting pad down on there. And then, of course, we're going to add our white layer that we will run through. And because there's a fair bit of detail in that, I'm going to run it back the other way just to make sure that it's cut out properly. Here's another one. This could be a fireball. Like, honestly, the cut out pieces, the scrap pieces are so cute with this set. Okay, so I've got one of those gorgeous wreaths. So now I'm going to do it in the pink, so in the Melon Mumbo. I'm just going to shake that off a bit. It's really important with your dies to get any of those die cut pieces that have stayed in your die to pop them out when you go to cut it again, because if you don't, they can tend to stop it from cutting properly. So always make sure that you've got all your little pieces out of your die. What set of dies are they, Sam? They are the dies that go with the Wishes All Around. They're called the Wishes All Around dies. They go with the Wishes All Around stamp set. So I'm using the Wishes All Around bundle. Okay. So we have that one. And you can see there, we have a gorgeous wreath cut out of that. Okay. So let's move that back over. And we'll pop those scraps aside. Okay. So I'll pop that back in there. So we've got that, and I will pop those out next time I go to use it. So we've got actually, I did this last time. So we've also got the snowflake one. I haven't used the snowflake one today in this class, but we've also got the snowflake one to use as well. And it's got all different little sprigs and pieces. So we've got the snowflake, the foliage and the Christmas trees, and then you can cut out the little Christmas trees and the sprigs and the snowflakes. So it's a super, super cute set. All right, so let's bring our card back in now. So what I've actually done is I've popped the white one down first. Now, you can either use glue dots if you wanted to, or I've just used some little dobs of glue. So I just, where there's some solid bits, I've just popped some glue on those solid bits. So just a couple of dobs of glue. And then what I do is I place that down on there like so, where I want it to be. And then I get a heavy block and I just sit the heavy block on it. Okay, and move it aside. So that heavy block's going to hold that down. We'll wait until that takes hold before we put our pink one on. I'm just going to bring in a scrap piece of paper and we're going to stamp that Christmas greetings on a scrap piece of white. So I'm just going to bring in my Pierce mat. And I'm going to use my Melon Mambo ink again. So I'm just going to ink up the Christmas greetings, and I'm going to stamp that down the bottom there, and I'm going to fussy cut. Yes, you heard me. I'm going to fussy cut that out. So all I've used today is 3 different inks. I've used the Shaded Spruce, the Melon Mambo, and the Parakeet Party for all of these 3 cards. So if you wanted to place your order, you may want to get the bundle and put that as part of your qualifying order, and maybe some of the ribbon and the embellishments, and that will be your qualifying order for you to actually get the kit for free. So then you can actually go ahead and make all the cards for free. So with the kits, I normally get them together, and I was a little bit late with some kits, but I've got all my kits. I'm up to date with all of my kits now, my free kits. So normally what happens is the ordering special is from, well, as I said, the 27th today right through to the 30th. So that will be Friday night. If you place an order of $100 or more using the host code, you will get the kit for free. And then I cut the kits next week. So I cut the kits and get them out. Sometimes it's like, and I will be busy next week because I'm doing Stamps Club kits as well this week. But yeah, as soon as I can get them out, they will be in the post for you. So now I've got that one, and I've added the glue, and I've just randomly, you can see there, I've just offset it a little bit so that you can see the white in behind. So while that's taking hold there, we will get our scissors out and we'll fussy cut this. So sentiments are really, really cute. I could have done a straight sentiment if I wanted, but I just think the fussy cut sentiment really adds to the charm of the card. And I don't fussy cut too dramatically. I just do it in like waves to incorporate up around the higher letters and the smaller letters. So it's not any major hard thing to fussy cut the sentiment out. And the main thing is to make sure that you are keeping a smooth squeezing of those scissors and not actually trying to rotate the blades of the scissors too much, but actually rotating the cardstock itself. So there we have Christmas greetings, fussy cut out, ready to go. All right, so then that's going to get popped up on there. So I'm just going to add some dimensionals on the back of that one. So I'm just going to add 3 dimensionals. I'm going to put one there, and one up the end. One just there. And we will pop that straight across the middle there like that. Okay. And then, of course, where's Sue? What's coming next, Sue? All right. Where did I pop that? Okay. I've kept my room considerably neat doing this video. I'm quite surprised. I was thinking I've cleaned up the room and it'll be just a big mess when I'm finished doing my video, but I haven't done too bad. I've kept it quite neat and tidy. Oops. Now, there's Sue. Thank you, Sue. Okay, so the tying of the bow, we do a breast cancer loop. Okay, so we've got our tail coming down here. We've got a breast cancer loop. We go around my thumb and grab hold of it with my pointer finger. And then, of course, we roll our ribbon over. That rolling of the ribbon over keeps the ribbon all traveling in the same direction. It's a little bit hard to see because this is a sheer ribbon. So then I actually make a loop, and that loop I just press through where my thumb is and pull it through. And that keeps everything going the same direction. And we then just arrange our loops to where we want them. and we pull. Now, one of the things with a bow as well is you want your tails to hang down really nicely. So I actually hold my tails between those two fingers and then pull the loops, and that actually pulls the tails down. But you can hold on to the knot and pull them and get them to hang down the way you want them to hang down. But can you see how they're hanging down really nicely? Sometimes this one wants to hang a little bit too much up that way. So just pop it, and then you can actually even just squish up the loops a little bit. You're missing Theo. Well, he was in here, Margaret. He was in here. I did show him at the beginning of the video. He came in while I could hear banging on my craft room door, because I've got it shut because my daughter's here watching TV. And I heard banging on the door. So he was like, I'm out here and I want to be in there. So he did end up making a little bit of a visit. And then I'm just going to add some Seal Plus on there. Yep, to add my bow. I've got my bow all sorted. Okay, so then that's going to go onto my card front. So I'm going to use some dimensionals on the back of that as well. Have I forgotten how to tie a bow? Do you think I would, Sue? That makes me laugh. Oh, and Theo's back smooching my knees again. He's back. He's just not sitting on his chair. Okay, so we have that like that. And then, of course, we will bring in some of those embellishments. So I think I'm going to use the pink ones on this, or I could actually use the yellow. Let's use the yellow. Whoop. Or is it telling us to use the blue? The blue's coming off. Let me grab that yellow. So let's go. One there. One maybe there. One in there. Another little one down there. And we could possibly put some pink ones around as well. Why not? How cute is that? Okay, so then for the insert, we can use Sending Wishes for a Wonderful Joyous Season. I think I'm going to do that one again. Might do that one in our Melon Mambo, and then I might do, and I feel like my Melon Mambo really needs to be re-inked, so let's try inking down the bottom here. Last time I used this, it was quite pale. Okay, so let's pop that in the center. All I keep thinking is I'm going to have so many Christmas cards to be able to send to all of my team members when I'm finished, because I've got so many that I've been making with all of these 12 days of everything that I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use some Parakeet Party, and I think I'm just going to add a couple of these little, like that, and maybe another one there, and like that. So some cute little foliage. Is his chair there for him? His chair is here for him, but I need to show you this because it's getting warmer weather. There he is. Because it's getting warmer weather, he's not actually up on the chair, so he's down on the and normally he's out on the tiles because he's trying to keep cool. All right, so we've got that, and then we will pop that to the inside of the card, and that is our third and final card. So as I said, this is my free weekly online class. I know I'm a little bit late. I'm normally live at 5 on a Monday. I think I'm going to have to change it to a Tuesday or something because Mondays seem to be quite hectic for me. But there you go. We have the third and final card. So let's bring in all of those cards that we've created today. So we did that one, and those two little Christmas trees down the bottom. So so thank you everyone for hanging out with me this afternoon. As I said, please use that QR code that is up there on the screen if you want to place your qualifying order. If you aren't comfortable with using the QR codes, then by all means pop into my online store, which you will find the link down in the show more box down below, and you will also see it in the description of this video. So thank you very much for hanging out with me, and I will be seeing you all again soon. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please feel free to subscribe. Please feel free to give me the thumbs up, because YouTube and Facebook love it when you do that. And thank you very much for hanging out with me, and I will see you all again soon. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon.